What's up, everyone? Kawaii here to react to the final episode of The Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime Season 2, Part 2. Last episode where we left off, well, it pretty much picked up right where the last episode left off, where we see the whole reason why Veldora was there in the first place. And that was simply because he wanted the continuation of the manga he was reading from Rimuru. He wanted the next issue of the manga he was reading from Rimuru. That's pretty much all there is to it. Like, he wanted, he wasn't even supposed to be there in the first place, but he was there. All because of manga. But I suppose I don't blame him, because, again, manga is serious business. Also, we saw that fight between Rimuru and his allies versus Clayman and his minions. First we see Clayman's nine-tailed fox and his creatures up against Ranga. The fox, we actually hear the fox, not only does it have a voice, but it was also crying out for help. It was saying, "Help me, please help me." It was suffering. And yeah, that was pretty sad. But luckily, Ranga and Rimuru and the others, they were able to release the fox of its suffering, and now it's no longer a threat. It's no longer working for Clayman. And Ranga has just gained a new canine companion. Also, we saw, apparently, Beretta pretty much completely disassembled Clayman's golem. She basically sprawled out the pieces as if it were pieces for a figurine or a playset or something like that. So yeah, there's the end of that. And then we got to see Shion versus Clayman himself. Probably easily one of the best parts of the whole episode. Clayman was just throwing attack after attack at Shion, hoping that he would get the upper hand and possibly make Shion his own minion. But no, of course, that wasn't going to happen, because the attacks had absolutely no effect on Shion. And we see Shion just beating the absolute tar out of Clayman, even when he was in that monstrous, multi-armed form. Shion just chopped his arms off. She was using not just the blade on Clayman, but her feet and her fists as well. Yeah, Clayman was basically just fucking demolished. Oh, it was also revealed that Milim she wasn't mind controlled. She was never mind controlled, despite what we were led to believe. She was just acting like it. She was just basically playing Clayman for a fool. So, and there was apparently a lot of hints towards that as well that I have missed because I was a fucking dumbass. So yeah, Clayman was down on the floor. He had no allies left, and it looked like he was about to lose and pretty much die. However, where the last episode left off was he was able to summon some other type of power. He was saying, "No, I cannot die just yet." And I guess he resurrected himself. However, obviously Rimuru was not going to let that happen. So yeah, it looks like Rimuru is going to fight Clayman himself. Can't wait to see how that goes. So other than that, without further ado, let's get to it. Alright everyone, here we go. Episode 12, aka the final episode of The Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime, Season 2, Part 2. Really? Oh. Oh, Rimuru, are you prepared to handle that information? Do you really want to know the truth to that answer? To that question? Is that all you got? Yada 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 yada. Just get it over with. Yeah, and now I got eaten by Beelzebub. This whole time, Clayman just been throwing move after move at him, and Rimuru is only using one technique. Oh, I'm sure he can find a ways around that. Oh my, oh! Here's another technique. No magic, just plain old fists. No Beelzebub, just some classic hands. And oh, just a good old-fashioned fade. Friend? You have friends? You and Yuki are friends? Yeah, that's crazy. Didn't think Clayman was capable of making friends. What? Did River really just say, if you disagree, you can get it next? Damn. I mean, I know you can pull it off, but damn. Keep in mind, Rimuru knows at this point that Milim, like, Clayman's slugs towards Milim didn't do any real damage. Milim can pretty much take anything, well, almost anything, Clayman can throw at her. He knows Milim is fine, but he still chose to make himself suffer. Most likely due to the other things, his other schemes. Most likely due to his involvement in the last arc. Look at this man, begging for his life. You think? Laplace warned you. Rimuru don't need no disciple. Wow. Oh boy, Veldora's going Super Saiyan once again. Oh dear, Veldora. Yep. There it is. That's the form of hers that I'm more familiar with. And I believe he's been reborn now as a cute elf girl. Ah. To be fair, Clayman hates a lot of people, so not really saying much. Damn. What? I'm sure you could have made that point without sucker punching him. Oh, we got some wine. Okay. And tea. And this dude's asleep again. Oh. Oh, that woke him up. What? Whoa! The boss! Boss! You were not being controlled. Fuck that. Yeah, but you're bullshitting. That shouldn't be necessarily true, right? That's right. You still owe Carrion for what you did to his capital. Few more centuries. So hold on, okay, so here's something that I find interesting. Is it, like, when you no longer want to become a Demon Lord, is it really just that simple? Is it really just as simple as saying, hey, other Demon Lords, I don't want to become a Demon Lord anymore? Like, is it really that simple? I asked this because, like, becoming a Demon Lord, that requires a whole ass ritual. But then if you don't want to become a Demon Lord, all you have to do is just go to one person and say, hey, I don't want to become a Demon Lord anymore. That's interesting to me. Somehow I'm not surprised. Yeah, it's true. Just look at people like Gobta and Gobzo. Whoa, what? Hey, whoa, whoa. Yeah, hey. Shion is right. It's right there. It's right there. Shion is right there. No way. Shion just let Gi approach Rimuru and touch Rimuru like that? Without a hint of jealousy? I don't believe it. Not a hint of jealousy or anger from her? I don't believe it. Ooh, I like that. I like that. I like how the table's still split in half. He didn't put it back together. A Queen of Nightmares. The Sleeping Ruler. Never a more accurate title. The Newbie? The Newbie? I wonder how long Rimuru is gonna carry the nickname The Newbie. I guess until there's a 9th Demon Lord, a 9th member. Oh. Hinata? Oh. She's just gonna let him get away? Ah. Yes, he did. Yes, it is. Oh! Oh my, oh! Ooh! God damn, these clowns really are no joke. Oh, someone's been watching Fist of the North Star. Oh my god. Oh, Laplace. What a heartless tactic. God damn. Well, I'll be damned. Someone that genuinely cares about Clayman. Alright. The credits are rolling. The end of this current arc. The war against Clayman is over. Yep. Look at them, all those people welcoming you back home. Killed in a random stabbing. Still not sure what happened during that time. To be continued in Season 3, of course. Or in my case, both Season 3 and Scarlet Bond. Alright, well, that was the final episode of The Time I Got Reincarnated as Slime Season 2 Part 2. So, as usual, I'm just going to say... First of all, I'm going to say my thoughts on just this final episode, and afterwards I'm going to move on to my thoughts on Season 2 Part 2 as a whole. So... Overall, a great finale, very enjoyable, because, well, first of all, mainly because we finally get to see Clayman meet his ultimate demise. He got Beelzebubbed, and he was crying, whimpering, begging for his life the entire time. Oh my gosh. And I thought the last episode was poetic justice. Oh, no, 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 no. Seeing Clayman begging for his life, realizing that Laplace was right the entire time. Oh, man. The man that was so powerful before, the man who was so cocky, was so confident when it came to manipulating other people for his own needs, has now been reduced to a shriveling wreck and now at the mercy of Rimuru Tempest. Oh my gosh. See, this is the kind of demise that I expect from absolutely despicable villains and individuals, like absolute scumbags with very little redeeming qualities. Far too often, when it comes to shows and movies that I watch, I see these villains who I deemed not likable in any way. These absolute scumbags, these vile monsters that just grind my gears every time they're on screen. And every time I see these types of villains, I just want to see them suffer. However, the problem with that is that a lot of times, that's not what happens. That's not what ends up happening. What ends up happening is that these absolutely despicable characters they either don't die, even though they should, or they do die, but their deaths are too quick. They're too painless. You know, there's just not enough satisfaction to their demise. Like what they did to the main characters, like doesn't equate to the demise that they actually get. Like a lot of those types of villains, they just get off too easy in my opinion, and it really degrades my enjoyment for the series. Like when I see that happen. Thankfully, that is not the case here. I think what happened to now I'm not too sure what's gonna happen to Clayman after he got Beelzebub by Rimuru, but seeing you know how Clayman was seconds before he got devoured by Rimuru, ooh. Also, and of course, seeing his ass get beat in the last episode, ooh, that was satisfying. Bravo to the author, man. Bravo to the author. He knows how to make satisfying villain demises. And if season 3 and Scarlet Bond introduces like a villain on the same caliber as Clayman, then yeah, I hope that something similar. I expect to see the same type of suffering, maybe, depending on how despicable the villains are. Oh yeah. Also, aside from that, yeah, Rimuru befriending, I guess, like creating the octagram, I believe it was called, and basically befriending the other demon lords. That was definitely great to see as well. It was really nice to see Rimuru earn the respect of the others, and I'm definitely interested in seeing what other roles Luminous and the other demon lords will be playing in the future. Yeah, again, overall, a very enjoyable, very satisfying finale of Season 2 Part 2. As for what I think about Season 2 Part 2 as a whole, I'm not sure how popular of an opinion this is, but I definitely would say that I enjoy this more than Part 1. Now, for those of you who have been following me and my Slime Live reactions, you guys probably already have a good idea of how I felt towards Part 1. Yeah, there were some things in Part 1 that I did particularly agree with and didn't enjoy as much as I should. There were some things in Part 1 that I found pretty questionable. thankfully, this is not the case. That is not the case in part 2. There were quite a bit more things that I enjoyed in part 2. The wall purges, the fights with Clayman, the fights Benimaru and Albus and the others were involved in. Oh my god, all of those were just so enjoyable. And of course, the episodes leading up to the war was pretty enjoyable as well. And we got some great character development in this part as well. Yeah. Oh yeah, I mean, part 2 was pretty overall part 2 was just really good. You know, I've a lot of people when I first you know, a lot of people were hyping this up. A lot of people were hyping up season 2. And after watching season 2, I got like, you know, they must have been talking about part 2, right? I mean, not to say part 1 was bad or anything, but I feel like part 2 did have kind of more meat to it. Or at least more tender meat. One thing I will say though is that Mulan appeared in both part 1 and part 2. And it looks like I'm pretty sure the series is still going to work towards building up Mulan and Yom to, you know, to lead the Kingdom of Falmouth. Now listen. I don't know how big of a role they're going to play in season 3 or in the future. But one thing I will say about those two characters is that even I know I had my qualms about how they were treated, or how Mulan was treated back in part 1. But how I feel about her right now, like, I already said my piece about her, and she hasn't done anything bad or questionable as of late. So basically what I'm trying to say right now is that I don't really have a lot of beef with her right now. I think right now I would be fully supportive of her and Yon's relationship. So yeah, I would love to see more of that in season 3 if I'm being quite honest. But yeah, like I said, overall, love season 2 part 2. Can't wait to watch Scarlet Bond, the movie, and season 3. Other than that, thank you guys for watching. Have a great day. Subscribe to my channel, follow me on Twitter, and I will see you guys next time.